to play ball. Welcome to the podcast with no limits, whether it be sports, current events, or random thoughts. This is the place to step in and stay a while. Your host is a proud alumnus of Rio Hondo Prep, a former minor league baseball umpire, and a man with strong opinions. Welcome to the Get Home Safe podcast and your host, Matt Ursuma.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Get Home Safe. It's a Friday edition of the podcast, and we have a returning guest, one of our first guests that was on back in late March of 2020, maybe it's April, but he's back. My good friend, my roommate. You may have seen him in cameos on Brockmire. He's been on Sports Center before. The one and only Mike Jarboe.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
Mike, we've come a long way.
Back.
Good to be back. Absolutely. And, I talked with Mike a few weeks ago about doing something different here on the podcast. And Mike, you're an expert in many things, but I think one of your greatest strengths is a great analyst of fast food. I mean,
sure.
You have a great deal of experience.
When you brought this to me, it was a little, I didn't know if it was as a compliment or a kind of backhanded compliment. I didn't know how to take it.
I like to call it respect. That's what I like to call it. But man, we got a new setup here. If you guys have noticed, we got some logos here. One thing Mike has not done yet is ask me how I got all of these cups. I got to tell you, in preparation for the podcast, there's nothing quite like going through a drive-through multiple times in one day and saying, "Hey, can I have one of your cups? Nothing to drink in it, just a cup."
I'm also a man of respect too. You don't ask a soldier to tell me the stories of how he got his war wounds. You respect the time, and then you just
yeah. Well, I will tell you this: it was one of the hardest things I've ever done to go through multiple drive-throughs and not order anything. I mean, I'm going to say after today's podcast,
and I'm going to say bullshit.
I don't have the receipts to prove that. Can I have a receipt for nothing, please? Nothing. I need to show my roommate friend this. So today, here's what we're going to do. In honor of the recent NFL draft, you guys know I'm a huge draft guy, draft nerd. Mike and I today are going to go head to head. We are going to do, I'm calling it the Fast Food League, the FFL draft here in May 2021. And we're going to go pick by pick. We're going to go 4 rounds, and each round is going to have 3 picks each. So 3 first round picks, 3 second round picks, and so on. We're going to get to 12 each. We're going deep here.
That's a lot.
We are. I know. But Mike, if anyone can do it, you can. And we are not limiting this to just fast food. This can be food places that are in random states, wherever you've been. You can throw me a curveball. Go international, Mike. You're an international traveler.
Sure.
You can do whatever you want with this. We're going to have some fun. Not only are we going to make our picks, but we are going to break them down just like Mel Kiper does afterwards. So with just laying the ground rules, Mike, with each pick, you're going to get a few minutes.
We're really just winging it.
We are. Absolutely. I want to hear why you made your pick, the strengths, maybe the weaknesses, things you'd like to see this fast food establishment improve on. And go ahead, Mike.
No, I'm sorry.
Okay. And if you have fast, look, it said fast food, but we're going, there's a sandwich conference. We got fast food pizzas such as Papa John's, Domino's. We got total randomness. Anything pretty much is open here on the board. We have a cheat sheet here of some prospects, we'll say.
Definitely some free agents.
Yeah. Some late rounders that are going to have to really work hard.
Scrappers.
Yeah. To make the team. Guys are going to have to make the team. So if you want to look at this as an 11-man roster plus 1 substitute in football, or a 9-man lineup with 3 pitchers, whatever floats your boat, this is what Mike and I are doing today. So that's the plan.
Yeah. Some of these could be like a late preseason cut.
Hey, that's what
you're drafted and then
you do it. Yeah. So before we jump into this, Mike, I got to ask you right off the bat a couple things regarding some of these foods and things. You're a guy that you break things down by categories. I mean, who would you say on here, for instance, I don't know, are you a chili cheese fry guy? Sometimes.
I've known to dabble.
Dabble. Okay.
I've known to dabble.
On here, does a chili cheese fry jump out to you? For me, it's I don't know, probably Del Taco. There's another one I just thought of, Mike, because we're on that note. Whether chili cheese fries or the hat. I mean, how can you forget the hat?
You know, it's chili cheese fries. I'm gonna have to go Wienerschnitzel.
Ooh, good call. Okay, so I agree with you there. I agree with you. A lot of experience, consistent, right?
Right.
So always there. And when you go to Wienerschnitzel, it's kind of like, how can you not get the chili cheese fries? You're getting the chili dog, probably, right? So, okay.
Right. Yeah, it's usually it's usually an argument within yourself.
No, what about milkshakes? We're looking at a milkshake here. Who are a few guys with milkshakes that jump out here?
I'll tell you what, and I just got on this kick probably the last couple of years. It's kind of a sneaky milkshake place is Del Taco.
Whoa, guys. You're telling me
Yeah.
Del Taco shakes. That is interesting there. I did not see that coming. That's definitely some research.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to share.
I rolled, and it only took one time of rolling the dice. And it was,
you don't think you're going
to a success.
Yeah, a milkshake at Del Taco. Okay, so that's the type of stuff we're going to be talking about here. We're going to have maybe some funny stories here or there. As a matter of fact, I have a few off the bat with Mike.
Specifically about milkshakes.
First one we'll go is milkshakes. One of the most intelligent, savvy questions I've ever heard in a drive-thru was late at night with Mike. And really, that's where the game is won, really. And Mike asked the question into the speaker. Yes, is your shake machine operational tonight? Or how did you phrase it?
It was late at night, and it took me a couple times of wanting something sweet after something a little greasy, of just a nice little milkshake, and then ordering it multiple times or trying to order it multiple times after usually about 11 o'clock.
Ooh.
Usually it's the cutoff. And it took a couple of times of trying to order one after something greasy, and they were like, our shake machine's down. And I kept getting the same response. The shake machine's down. And I finally inquired about it and was told by one of the employees that every night, 11 o'clock usually, some are midnight, 11's usually where you got to ask the question. What midnight you're really rolling the dice, but by 11 you got to ask the question. And then usually they shut the shake machine down to clean it and do all the maintenance stuff. So it just became a habit. Whenever I needed, I was like,
if any of you
I got tired of being shut down.
Yes.
So I just thought I would inquire ahead of time.
You made an adjustment. If any of you guys questioned Mike's credentials, let that be a lesson right there. I mean, who else knows that, right? Another time
although embarrassingly enough, I've seen other people ask that same question.
Oh, well, there you go. To
my defense.
Not uncommon.
To my defense.
To your defense. Well, there's be a few defenses here. Another time, now Mike is a veteran drive-through guy, and I've been in plenty of them with him. And you know what?
Let's talk about this.
When you turn the corner, when you enter the drive-through, there's happy-go-lucky Mike, but when you make that slight left turn, there's a switch.
Because here's where it starts. And to me, it's a bigger. It's not just a drive-through. To me, it's a bigger global issue we're dealing with in society right now as a whole. And that's, I guess, courtesy, public courtesy.
Yep.
Right? I think has gone to the wayside. It's completely gone. And to me, I don't know, like when people roll through the drive-through, especially late at night after out having a few adult beverages, fast food sounds good. But at that time of night, you want efficiency. And nothing is more frustrating than rolling up and having somebody unsure or looking over this extended menu that doesn't exist. So to me, you got to be conscious of the people behind you. And to me, when your wheels of the car hit the driveway, you know exactly what you want because you've already been thinking about it for the past 15 minutes. If you left the bar, restaurant, friend's house, wherever you're leaving from, you know what sounds good. So when your wheels hit the driveway of that establishment, 9 times out of 10, you know what you want. So, and as a courtesy for the people behind you, let's be ready to go. So when the car pulls up and they're like,
hello, sir.
what do you
take
need?
order.
Let's speak clearly, legibly. Let's maybe pregame it, maybe a quick little run through before you actually speak into the microphone.
Yeah. Wow.
So there's, again, that it's quick and efficient and there's no mistakes.
True. It shouldn't be. I think many of us do this. Well, I shouldn't say many. Some of us do. You pull in there and you see the lineup, and it's like the first time you've seen it. And everyone's like, oh. But meanwhile, to your point, driving there, even if you don't get the same thing every time, you usually get the same 3 or 4 things.
You're pretty much know where direction you're going.
Yeah. It's not like, oh, Burger King, this is new.
This isn't a Cheesecake Factory menu where there's 45 pages.
Yeah.
You know what you want.
Oh.
You know tried and true.
Mm-hmm.
You know what works and what doesn't. Let's be conscious of the people around you.
Yes.
And let's be ready to go.
Yes. So most people have road rage. Mike has drive-through rage. I've seen it. And
I would call it frustration. Light frustration.
And there was a time in, there's a few stories we have to share. I mean, we pulled into a Taco Bell one time in some Midwestern state. And as soon as we pulled up, Mike's a big Taco Bell guy. I like it. I prefer Del Taco, but beggars can't be choosers.
I wouldn't say big Taco Bell. There's times when
it's necessary. Yeah. Okay.
Taco Bell sounds good.
I got you. So we pull in and
there's times that it doesn't.
We pull in and right off the menu, yes, and it says they said something like, "Excuse me, sir, just to let you guys know, we're out of beef tonight."
Well, no, let's back up because we started to order.
Oh,
we ordered and just began firing away. We were prepared. We pre-gamed it. We're ready to go. Efficient. Started knocking it out, and halfway through the order, they did not have any beef.
And me, I'm like, okay, well, chicken. I'll get a chicken quesadilla or something.
That's about 90% of Taco Bell's menu, though, is beef. And at that point, I was done.
His face, the eyes, everything. And your famous words, I believe you said to me and our cohort in the car was, okay, thank you. We'll take our business elsewhere.
The business was going elsewhere.
And away we went. So
I would rather fast than support a Taco Bell that does not have beef.
It's unacceptable.
As mysterious as that beef is, I am not going to support a business that will not have 90% of its menu. I
hear you, man. I hear you. And, the other drive-through story I have is, Mike is very, as he should be, as we all should be. He's very protective of his bag of food. And there was a time I was not as graceful with the bag of food. Mike's in the driver's seat. I'm in the passenger seat. And
delicate items in there. Let's be fair.
Yeah.
There were hard shell tacos in there.
I learned a lesson.
There was something of fragility in the bag, if that's even a word.
Mike pulled over and we had Mr. Bill Barnes in our back seat, actually. And Mike looks at me. He goes, Matt, if my tacos are compromised, we're going to have a problem. Something along those lines.
At that point in the night, and it's, I don't know, it's just a simple pleasure. You want that, you want it to be nice. You want it to be,
wrapping up a long day.
You don't want, when you order tacos, you don't want a tostada. And I don't want to try to have to piece together my tacos. I'd like a nice,
I'm with you.
good, solid, prepared taco. And did not want them compromised.
No, I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you one bit. So, yeah, those are a few stories with Mike. The funniest one, though, I think was with, again, Barnes in the back seat. And I think we're in Sioux Falls, maybe. And there's not many options there. So we rolled into a McDonald's and Sioux City. Correction. See, he's dedicated here.
One of the Sioux.
And we pull in McDonald's, and this lady with about 4 teeth, who's there every night.
Sweetheart. Just a sweetheart. Just a sweetheart.
Oh, it's you. It's you guys again.
You fuckers.
We're like, wow, you know what? We might need to question our life decisions. If we're getting recognized at a Sioux City drive-thru.
Yeah, you definitely question your life decisions when the person recognizes you from the night before.
And the night before. So, yeah, that's a little background.
It wasn't one of my finer moments.
No, but it was August.
We wore it on the chin.
So we're going to get into the draft here in a second. But first of all, a couple things non-food related. Mike, you're a big golf fan. Your boy Lefty, Phil Mickelson, recently won the PGA championship. How fun was that watching Phil?
I don't think people realize the historic relevance of what happened on Sunday. And what, granted, Phil has never been a guy that's had a lot of injuries or, issues, but got to grind and to compete and hang with guys half your age and twice as strong in conditions that they dealt with on Sunday, and to pull away with a win and be the oldest golfer to win a major it's
unbelievable.
I don't think people realize the significance of that.
I mean, I'm trying to compare it. Like if it were to be like if, Phil's not quite Michael Jordan, but if like Michael Jordan came back.
And granted, this isn't football either, where age is, an issue. Golf is still, but when you've got, Brooks Koepka, a young and very good shape golfer, and Phil's keeping up with them power wise. I mean,
it's crazy, man.
You got to tip your cap.
But I've been, I do know that with you and golfing, like, it's not all about power. It's about accuracy, obviously. And, but still, when a guy can outdrive you a little bit, I mean, that does matter. And for Phil to do it at that age is unbelievable.
Yeah, it really is.
And you and I both follow him on social media. He's a character.
He's fantastic.
Oh man. He's so good.
And that was one thing, that guy, and you watched him on Sunday, every time someone said his name, he acknowledged him.
Yeah.
With either a thumbs up or a wave or the Evel Knievel fist pump or something, he acknowledged it. And then post round, he tore up social media and either acknowledged or responded to most of the guys that mentioned him in social media.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
as ridiculous as some of the responses were, he acknowledged and responded, and it was a special thing to see,
and to see the crowd back. I mean, the walk on 18 was phenomenal.
They were definitely unprepared.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think the PGA actually acknowledged that. I think either Monday or Tuesday, that it was out of control.
But I love it. I mean, there's always that eerily silence, quiet time in golf when guys, about to strike the ball. But for the past few months, when golf came back, with no crowds, it was just so weird. So it was awesome to see the crowd back.
There were guys that acknowledged, I think Rory acknowledged that at one point, that it was hard for him to stay in it and kind of to be motivated to fight when there was no response. There was no fans at all. So, it's funny. As quiet as golf is, I think you do. I think again, you need that. You need that reaction in that environment.
And Happy Gilmore. Hey, can we make some noise here?
Yeah,
Somebody, come on.
Exactly.
I think where it's different in golf, like you mentioned, UFC came back, baseball came back, basketball, football, all these sports came back without crowds. And there's so much going on where they have to block stuff out anyway, and they're just playing the game. But in golf, there's always that quiet noise, quiet,
right.
The transition back and forth.
Right.
So you didn't see that. And so I just thought as a newer golf fan and learning things, it was awesome to see on Sunday.
Yeah, it did take me to watching the last 2 holes to really for me to acknowledge the energy and what was going on and
you don't
how we missed that.
And energy you don't think of in golf, right?
No.
But I mean, when we watched the Tiger documentary, seeing all of the people who would follow him, I mean, it kind of took me back to that. Tiger was a bigger deal and everything, but to see, I mean, Brooks Koepka couldn't get through the crowd and he was a little bummed out.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy.
Oh man. It's like storming the field in basketball or storming the court. Anyway, so congrats to Phil. Man, what's next? The US Open coming up, right? A couple weeks.
Yes. Torrey Pines.
Oh man,
which is a curveball because that is Phil's kind of, I would call it his home course. He's a San Diego guy. He's been in Phoenix for a long time and went to school at ASU, but he grew up in San Diego and kind of a home course for Phil. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Definitely. Well,
and the U.S. Open's always a different ball game. It's always fun to watch when you have guys, the best in the world, fighting for just even par.
I know. Yeah. I feel bad for those golfers who have a tough time making par like yours truly. Right. So yeah, it kind of humanizes those guys. Right. Anyway, some other big news that you and I were chatting about is longtime Major League Baseball umpire Joe West recently surpassed Bill Clem, 5,376 games worked to become the all-time leader in games worked. I mean, what can you say about Joe West and that achievement?
Legendary. I mean, and I think what's crazy is that those, we were talking recently about that, about how those kind of accomplishments to me are slowly going away. The guys that last, that, the Cal Ripken Juniors that play the most games, the guys that work the most games, the guys that have been around the longest. Guys just don't have those type of careers anymore. Mm-hmm. And I think those type of records, are kind of going away because guys just don't hang around.
Joe's worked 45 years, I believe. And I saw a stat. He started at 23 years old. So that helps. But I saw someone break it down, I think majorleague.com or whatever. And they said, most guys don't start in major leagues at 23. They start at about 30. And you work about 120 games now with all the collective bargaining and things. He says it would take a guy work all 120 games for 45 years and not miss a game,
right, to
achieve that. And most guys are not working at 30 to, what would that be, 75 years old?
Right.
It's not happening.
Right.
So it's
and Joe's a guy that I don't remember hearing about him being down with an injury.
No, he's just coming back from knee surgery, but that was the off season.
But as far as missing games,
he doesn't miss them.
And I don't remember hearing anything about him being hurt over the years, or if it was very briefly.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, he's taking line drives at first base and flexed. I mean, it's a sport where umpires
and even if you're in great shape, it's a long season. I mean, it's a grind.
Yeah.
And you don't get to go sit down in the dugout in between innings. Those guys are out there for the length of the game standing. And that in itself is a grind, an absolute grind.
Yeah. I umpire
even with vacation time.
Oh yeah.
It's still tough.
Show up and do it again.
Yeah.
I umpired 14 to 34. So 20 years from doing, little league stuff to work in minor league and college ball. I mean, I've been injured plenty of times over the years. And
it's just going to happen
yourself.
It's just inevitable. It's you're going to get things wear out.
Yeah.
You don't get any younger. I mean, it's,
ain't that the truth? Well, and then finally, congrats to Joe, a class act as an umpire's umpire. Would you say
true professional?
Oh man. Just, people.
I don't think guys or people realize that.
No,
he's just a true professional.
And you could really learn a lot as far as watching him work too, if you really break it down,
Yeah.
So congrats to Joe. Just, man, face of Major League Baseball umpiring for sure. And finally, Mike, 2021, our season got washed last year in 2020. I'm not umpiring anymore. You worked your season this year. What's it been like this crazy year in college baseball work in the lockdown and COVID times?
It's interesting. We talk every week with guys about how weird this year's been, and it's been. You have to acknowledge all the guys, and the commitment of working this past year. Even things have gotten back to normal. There's been a lot of late changes. Teams have gotten COVID. Series have been canceled. Teams have moved around, last minute changes as far as destiny, where the series is actually played. So guys have really been patient and been able to kind of roll with the punches this year. And so it's been refreshing, but also frustrating to get, obviously to get back out there is refreshing. The frustrations of dealing with some of the changes and stuff and all the testing. God, I feel like my brain has been stabbed about 150 times so far. But it is what it is. We got to do it. And you just got to roll with it. And I think all the guys have been really patient and really good with it. And
everyone's had to adjust.
Yeah.
Players,
Big
coaches,
time.
schools, everything.
Big time.
So a challenge indeed, but umpires, I think, honestly have handled it very, very well.
Yeah.
Looking from an outside perspective.
No, I think guys have realized where we are on the totem pole.
Yeah.
To put it lightly, and so they're going to roll with it. And so it's I think we're definitely moving in the right direction. I just got the email a couple days ago about postseason. So they mentioned that if you're fully vaccinated, no need to test or wear a mask on the field. So we're definitely moving in the right direction and going in a positive way. So,
yeah. Well, congrats on the postseason.
No, thank you.
The second time working a regional cup coming, and you can find Mike on the ESPN family networks here at some point in the next week or so. But Mike, enough about baseball and golf. Let's get into it. This right now. It is time. You know what? As the podcast host that I am, I'm going to give you the first overall selection. So, Mike, we're going to go right now. We're going to have to dig deep, but I want your analysis of every pick. Guys, I bring to you the 2021 FFL, the Fast Food League draft. Let's do this. Mike Jarboe, you are on the clock.
This is tough. And a lot of great choices here. It's regional. It's not nationwide. It's regional. We're getting closer to nationwide, but first pick. There's no question about it. I'm going to have to go In-N-Out.
In-N-Out Burger is the Trevor Lawrence of the 2021 draft, a no-doubter. I will take it off the board. Mike, tell me about your pick, why you made it the first overall selection.
I'll tell you what, obviously the history started in 1948. Southern California, you got over 500 locations. I'm sorry, over 300 locations. It's the efficiency. It's obviously the food is amazing. The simplicity. They take care of their employees well. And to me, kind of the OG of fast food, in the sense that they don't mess around.
They do not. They do not. I love the pick, Mike. This is you get incredible value at this pick.
I gotta tell you, I gotta tell you the story, because this is big for me, as kind of like the stock went up, if you will. I was researching as to why they suddenly expanded to Utah.
Okay.
Come to find out, there had been a restaurant that they had learned of called Chatters, I think was the name of it. They kept getting phone calls at the corporate office talking about, hey, I'm glad you guys opened up in Utah. And they kept getting phone calls. So I was obviously to inquire about it. A bunch of the corporate executives roll up to Utah, to this alleged new location, and find this restaurant called Chatters. Same decor, same color scheme, essentially the same exact menu. And it was a kind of a mom and pop establishment. And not until they went in and ordered off the secret menu, and their order was fulfilled, that they decided that obviously copyright infringement had occurred.
Okay.
So instead of suing this mom and pop place and getting with what advantage, In-N-Out, in a true baller move, decided to open up an In-N-Out across the street.
Quite savage.
I think Chatters got the message.
Yes, they did.
And to me, in the power move, raised the stock and obviously comes out with the number one pick.
I think it's hands down the best pick in the draft. You can't go wrong. The secret menu is amazing. Animal fries. They got protein style for you guys watching your carbs. I love a Neapolitan shake there, real ice cream. It's just, you can't go wrong. Great pick, Mike, at number one. The whole picture, everything you need.
5-tool player.
Okay, for me, the first pick, I'm looking at the board here. Now, In-N-Out, I didn't think would be there. That would have been my number one. There's some great options here. Oh, man, I'm going to stick with kind of the drive-through conference. And with efficiency, with popularity, I think I'm going to go with Chick-fil-A, Mike. It's, you could say it's a simple menu, but then again, so is In-N-Out. I don't think there's a better drive-through efficiency in the draft. I would even put it up against In-N-Out head-to-head. That was my number two. The chicken is outstanding, and that's another reason I had to take this off the board, was that you would not have both of those in your arsenal. So it's kind of a power play move here. I never had a Chick-fil-A shake. Is it pretty good? I'm sure you've given in.
Lights out.
Lights out. Okay. So there you go. I think what also separates Chick-fil-A for me is the waffle fries. They're outstanding. You can't get a sandwich without one. The Chick-fil-A sauce is unbelievable, out of this world. So for the first pick in my draft.
Breakfast, too. I think breakfast. Great breakfast.
Game changer. Absolutely. The chicken nuggets, the chicken sandwich, just all around great stuff here.
To me, In-N-Out and Chick-fil-A was 1A, 1B. The game changer for me that stepped Chick-fil-A down was not being open on Sundays.
Yes, they're only there for you 6 days a week. But hey,
although I respect all religious beliefs, In-N-Out, also a very religious company.
Absolutely.
Open on Sundays.
It's very interesting out there. Dynamic. Good family-run religious companies. Okay. So, Mike, we're still in the first round. We're getting 3 picks each here in the first round. What is your second overall selection?
This one was tough. I had 2 options here, and I went with, again, efficiency, because that's a big deal to me, is quickness and efficiency. I'm going for speed in my first round, to say.
It's a good way to build your team around.
Not so much power,
yeah.
Speed. I think speed's a big factor. I went Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's. Whoa. Did not see that coming as a top 2 pick, a first rounder.
Employees are always nice.
Wow.
Bread's always fresh. Sometimes free. They often, I've been to Midwest locations that will give away free bread, which is amazing. And they pride themselves on being quick.
Which is huge for you.
Which is big.
Yeah.
Deli meats are always fresh. Consistent. If I'm in a Jimmy John's in Florida, California, or North Dakota, consistent.
Wow. And quite honestly, in looking at the big board here, I would say the fastest in the draft, the fastest team in the draft here, which is, man, tough to say. I didn't see that coming as high a pick as it is, but it makes sense. You build your team around speed.
Best chips in the sandwich game.
Oh, man, combination. And thank goodness they finally made the move west to California a few years ago.
Yeah, you're right. That's actually, yeah,
that may have helped their stock move up.
Kind of taking it for granted.
Yeah.
But, that was just a couple years ago.
Yes. For my second overall pick, I might get some pushback for this, but as far as a place I go often of all of these places on the board, I am going to take off the board Del Taco. Now, hear me out. It's a high pick, I understand, but the value you get from Del Taco, it's fast food, Mexican food. I think it's way above the Taco Bells of the world. I would argue that Del Taco's fries are second to none, maybe second to Chick-fil-A. The chili cheese fries, the value.
Solid choice. The burgers are actually pretty good.
Burgers are really good. Sneaky, right? They're kind of the offensive line of the menu there. And but your burritos, your chicken soft tacos are absolutely outstanding. And they always have cherry Coke. I'm a big cherry Coke guy. I respect that.
I'm with you.
Unfortunately, there's not many Del Tacos west of or east of Phoenix. I don't think you find them really outside the West Coast.
Started in Victorville.
Wow.
Or no, I'm sorry. I digress. Barstow was the first location.
And now look at him, the second overall pick in the first round.
I think Phoenix is,
it's far west, far
east.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Del Taco, you always there for me. Most locations are open pretty late. I don't know about 24 hours, but I love what you can get for like $2 or $3. You can get a chicken soft taco. You can get a bean and cheese burrito. Still a dollar menu, which not many people still have in this draft.
Right. You know, you're right. I think, the price target can't beat.
It's huge. So that is my second overall selection, Mike. Still a lot. And from the drive-through conference here, those were kind of the first 3 listed. So I know they wouldn't be, I knew they'd be gone kind of quick.
Sure.
That takes us to our final picks of the first round. Mike, what is your third overall selection?
I'm going with a curveball here. And to me, I'm going to pick a center. I'm not going quarterback, wide receiver here, tight end. I'm picking a center because I think the basis of any good draft is defense. I'm going to say Waffle House.
There it is. I knew, Mike is always kind of, you had to
not in the sense that I don't think you don't think of Waffle House as a fast food establishment, but you have to realize the speed at which you get your food.
And the quality.
Quality is always consistent. Customer service always lights out. Lights out. I mean, I've been to Waffle Houses when they are screaming, and you always get great service. And again, efficiency. I mean, what you're getting, almost diner-type food at fast food speed.
And your favorite number, 24 hours.
Yes. I mean, there's never an issue. They were an all cash business up until a couple years ago. And been around for a long time, starting in 1955. Mainly in the Southeast, but have stretched. I think the closest to here, I think, is Phoenix.
Yeah, man, it's coming. It's coming west.
Oh, a staple in my book.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I dare anyone who's eaten at a Waffle House multiple times to say they didn't have a pleasant experience. You usually get a good story or two out of it. Sure. I know you recently had
people watching.
Yeah. Oh, people watching. A little annoying because sometimes you're in there at 3 a.m. and everyone's a little toasted, but the service, the old ladies up there, they're very friendly.
Always hits the spot.
Oh, man. The waffle.
Sweethearts.
Oh, just how do you like your hash browns, Mike?
Scattered covered.
Oh, again, absolute quality. I really wanted to go with this with my second overall selection, but I kind of went with something that I have more often. Waffle Houses, man, I'm so bummed that's off the board, but I didn't think it would get to the second round. So Waffle House, for those of you who have not had it, go do it and make it happen. Okay, that brings
experience.
It is. It really is. Fine dining indeed. Okay. Oh, this is getting a little harder. I'm going to go here. I got some great options here on the board. Oh man, it's getting harder and harder because it's not so much what I want, Mike. It's what I need. It's taking those needs away from you as well. So there's some gamesmanship here, indeed. I have a chicken sandwich on here. I have Mexican fast food on here. I'm thinking of two options here. This is very, very difficult. I think this will be on the board later, so I'm going to leave that there. I am going to go out on a limb and take kind of another establishment that is really only in the West. High pick, I know. I'm going Wienerschnitzel.
Whoa!
Wienerschnitzel. Wienerschnitzel. We've each had our plethora of hot dogs over the years, working in the minor leagues, but
lots of wieners.
A lot of them. I mean,
a lot of wieners.
Oh yeah, chili cheese dog, I think is outstanding. They always play around with like lemonade stuff and this and that, but as you mentioned earlier, the chili cheese fries are outstanding. That brings them up a notch. You really can't go wrong. Chili cheese dog. Sometimes if you're in a chili mood, chili cheese dog, chili cheese burger, chili cheese fries. That's a rough day, but hey,
it's worth it.
Wienerschnitzel is my final pick of the first round. Thoughts, Mike?
It's a good pick. It's an older establishment than people think. It's been around since the 60s. And hasn't really been challenged, if you think about it. Like, obviously, there's been sandwich places challenged. Burger places are always constantly challenged. There hasn't been a hot dog place to challenge it.
It's true.
It's kind of stood alone.
Yes.
And you have to admire that.
You really do. I've never thought of it that way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's really look on this board. There's no one else that really specializes in fast food hot dogs.
No.
I mean, so to that, its value increases.
Correct.
Big time. And I think that said, it's going to continue to be around a long time.
You would say it's the minority in the draft, right?
Well, that's why it's first rounder.
If we're going to touch on politics a little bit.
I hear you there. Okay, so in rounding out the first round, Mike, his first three picks, In-N-Out, Jimmy John's, and Wafizi, a.k.a. Waffle House.
It's a great starting line.
Oh, my goodness. And for me, my first round, Chick-fil-A, Del Taco, and Wienerschnitzel. Diversity, as we kind of mentioned there. Nothing quite, how should we say? No similarities, really, except speed and those types of things, quality. But as far as a menu selection, we got options here. And kind of quick commercial here. I think anyone listening to this podcast today, if you don't go out and eat at one of these places today, you're a better man than I am, because talking about these foods kind of got the mouth watering here. So, Mike, into the second round we go. We'll continue with you as the first pick in the second round. Your fourth overall. What direction are you headed?
This was tough because I'm really conflicted here. but I have to go with, I'm taking a stab here at quality of food, and I am going to go Dicky's barbecue.
Whoa. I thought for sure that would be kind of a late round talent. But I love the selection. I think if you're wanting, like you said, good food that isn't, processed, it's somewhat healthy.
I have never worked at Dicky's barbecue, so I can't speak for how the food's prepared, but if they've obviously fooled me, because I feel like it's well prepared. Meats are smoked, always fresh, pretty quick. Good solid plastic drink cup that can be reused.
Not many other people offer that.
Cherry Coke. I'm a fan of Cherry Coke. Cherry Coke's available. And here's the kicker that no one really talks about with Dicky's barbecue is the free soft serve ice cream post barbecue.
Free.
And no one touches on that.
No, people forget. That's very, oh man. You have to go to Dicky's barbecue later today. You're right. Who else does that?
I feel like I just picked a tight end who could also kick field goals. Like if my kicker gets hurt, I can go to him and I can probably safely get a 35-yard field goal if I need to.
Yeah.
With the free soft serve.
Wow. That is outstanding. Mike, a great pick. Again, you're beefing up your line here with that. That is a really good pick. And yeah, if you want barbecue, again, it's pretty quick. So great pick, Mike. All right, my turn here in the second round. I'm looking at the big board. There's a few directions I want to go, but I feel that they will be there in later rounds. So it's a tough game to play here. I'm going to go my first burger joint here. There might be one I like better, but I think it'll be around later. So I'm going to go, because of that, I am going to go the first female selected, Wendy's, here in the second round. And I know that one hurts a little bit, but as far as shakes go, I think the Frosty is just a cut above.
It is. It's a staple.
It's more of an ice cream than it is a shake. I mean, you need a spoon. The burgers, the square patties, they don't bother me. I love a good Wendy's burger. They don't bother me. No, it's not a problem. It's all going to the same place. And, just because they look different doesn't mean they don't perform different. So Wendy's, Dave Thomas, God bless you. A great product over the years. I'm going Wendy's. My first selection in the second round and my fourth overall.
Wow.
What do you think, Mike?
That's solid. The chili's good.
A cup of chili, absolutely.
Yeah.
What, $1?
Yeah, it's for the price. It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're getting a solid contender for the price.
Nationwide,
as far as salary cap.
Yeah. Keep your costs down. Absolutely. Keep your costs down. And if you're a fan of bacon, man, they got all kinds of bacon burgers, Baconators, and you get your fill there. And you know what I also respect, Mike? It's that foil they wrap the burger in. I think it keeps it warmer. It keeps it hotter. I agree. It's well wrapped.
That's funny.
Protection.
I never did think about that.
The protection.
You're right. Versus paper.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you get home,
that's a good call.
Most of us eat the Wendy's in the car. However, when you get home, it still be warm.
Right.
So
no, it's
that's to me why.
Ahead of the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's why it's second round talent. It's up there.
Right. Yeah. Good call.
To the fifth overall selection,
Jeez.
Second round pick, Mike Jarboe.
Yeah. This was tough. I'm going to go not in the. I'm going to go a little healthy here, because I think it's that's possible amongst the list here.
Can't wait to hear this. What is this, Division III player?
I'm going to go Chipotle.
Whoa! I like it.
As far as consistency, as far as overall talent, pretty healthy. You're not going to have a whole lot of injuries here.
No, you're right. You got a lot of meat options. You got some vegetarian options.
But it's simple.
Mhm.
They're up in the game now. I think they're taking their quesadilla option off more to a public offering. I think before it was like a kind of secret menu, unless you knew about it. But I think now they're taking it a little more public. It's down on my list just because the hours, they're not open late. Sure. There aren't any breakfast options, although
you never know.
Could be if I'm not, if anybody that works at Chipotle is listening.
Throw an egg on it.
Pretty simple. Doesn't take much. But I like the fact that each establishment inside used reused materials, recycled stuff. They're pretty health conscious. They're pretty environmentally conscious, and
because of that, like you said, they're not going to get injured, and because of that, they're going to play a long, long time, almost like Tom Brady of the draft.
Correct.
It's going to stick around. It's going to be healthy. Minor spills or tweaks there. Not going to be anything long term. So I love the pick.
A public company that I wish I had gotten in on early on. Not to say they haven't had their setbacks, like any other fast food establishment, but they fought through it and came out, I think, a better company for it. And that's number 5 for me is Chipotle.
It's a great pick. Love it, Mike. You're starting to, if you look at your board already, I mean, you really do have some diverse options here. And I think we both do. This is, let's see, every pick's been tough. I mean, I say it every pick, but where do we go from here? My 5th overall selection. I'm going to kind of go in your direction here that you went with kind of the walk-up, not a drive-through necessarily, but make it as you go. I hadn't really gone to this place until you directed me there. I know it's mostly burgers, but I think there's other options. I'm taking off the board The Habit.
That's a great choice.
Taking it off the board. Double char burger,
Sure.
Santa Barbara burger. I like their chicken, bacon, avocado sandwich. It's great. What is it, the bread you kind of upgrade to? Is it the sourdough? Sourdough on a burger is outstanding.
Yes.
For me, if you want to go sit down and feel like you're at a restaurant rather than a drive-through, this is a great option. The versatility in that regard. And they give you those little number pads, right? Call your number. Technologically, they're a step up, they're cut above.
Yep.
So I'm taking The Habit off the board. Maybe a little high, but I don't want you to grab it. And I think it's truly a second-round talent that I'm proud of with my 5th overall selection.
Yeah, it is kind of a sneaky pick.
Plus, they got a great sign. It's almost like a Vegas type sign.
I agree.
It draws you in.
Number 6. This is tough because I'm staying healthy, but they're not always efficient. But as far as I'm going to go Ono Hawaiian barbecue.
I was hoping that would fall.
They're not as quick as but there's also a sense of like sometimes Hawaiian barbecue doesn't get you rushed. So you have to kind of acknowledge that too. But as far as quality and of Hawaiian barbecue,
man, that's good.
Yeah.
What is your go-to meat there? Or do you kind of get a
teriyaki chicken?
Teriyaki chicken. Okay.
The rice is solid. The mac salad is as close to Hawaiian mac salad as you're going to get.
It's quite a carb load there with your meat, which I know you're a fan of.
Right. And plenty of teriyaki sauce. Got the old school Hawaiian Sun drinks in the little mini cooler mini fridge by the register.
A lot of similarity in your second round here, Mike.
This was tough. I really can't. I gotta get the Hawaiian barbecue in there.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's quality, the value again. for second round, for it to fall. Not fall really, but I think it's right where it should be. I agree with you. For me, I love the kind of the what is it, the combo meat where you get the chicken, the beef, and the blue lips. I mean,
the fish is pretty good. You got pretty good fish options. Not a whole lot of locations, which is why it fell down the list for me. But
but it also makes it more attractive too. Like,
sure,
because absence makes the heart grow fonder. We'll say.
Sure.
So man, that's a really good selection. I was hoping that would be there later for me, but hey, you snooze, you lose. Okay, that brings me to my final selection of the second round, my 6th overall pick. I might stir some things up here, but walk up.
I'm really hoping you don't go this. I think I know where you're going here, and I'm worried.
You're worried? No, I think you're safe because don't be worried. There's a few things I don't have on my roster here yet that I think are definitely a need, because if there's one thing that every lunch person can get behind is a sandwich. And
knew you were going this
want
direction.
Something semi-healthy with good bread. I know where you're going to go after this, so I'm not going to dance around it. I'm going to go with something that this is tough. Of the sandwiches on the board here, there's an Aaron Rodgers and an Alex Smith here, kind of back to back, that I'm sure will go. But I'm gonna throw you a curveball, Mike. I'll give you what you want. I'm gonna go Jersey Mike. I'm going Jersey Mike's. I like what they offer. The bread is great. I like Mike's Way, minus onions, of course. They will grill the meat if you ask them to. I like that they cut the meat right there in front of you. I wasn't a fan early on, I'll be honest, but Jersey Mike's has grown on me. They have those 3 great sizes, the small, the regular, and the giant, which I've partaken in a time or two. So Jersey Mike's, for me, the final pick in the second round, my first sandwich selection. Mike, reaction?
It's a great pick. I eat at Jersey Mike's way too much. But you're right. Consistency, quickness. Employees are always good employees. Open later than most sandwich places.
Yes.
But yeah, solid pick. It was kind of the direction I'm going. To me, the 7, 8, 9 round here is going to be sandwiches for me. I'm setting. I'm telling this.
You're going to see a pattern.
This is going to be a sandwich round.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I got arguably the top sandwich. Well, outside of your Jimmy John's pick, I mean, a sandwich conference.
I'll tell you what
is really good.
I don't know if I'd argue the top, because with my 7th pick, I'm going Capriotis.
Capriotis, Mike Jarboe.
Founded in 1976, Wilmington, Delaware. Was not a West Coast option for a long time. They opened up a location in Vegas, I would say probably 10 years ago. But as far as not a whole, I think there's only just over 100 locations nationwide. Soon to be one up the street.
Okay.
But
proximity.
As far as creativity in their sandwiches, bread is lights out, but they've got some creativity when it comes to, I know they have a Thanksgiving dinner sandwich with turkey, cranberry sauce, there's some gravy involved. To me, not readily available, but to me, a great sandwich option.
Wild.
Capriotti.
I did not see that coming, honestly. Of the sandwiches remaining on the board, not the direction I would have gone, but to each his own. We're now in the 3rd round, by the way. 3rd round, we got the 7, 8, 9 picks. Mike takes Capriotis. I got to say, of the first picks here, that's probably the most surprising to me that you went that direction. I disagree in the sense I've never had quite the experience that you had. Maybe my scouts haven't helped me out enough in this regard, but I didn't understand that the Thanksgiving menu options there. I don't know. For me, Capriotis needs some work and maybe a minor league system or something. So, but I applaud you. I applaud you stepping outside the box and again, making your team.
To me, the Capriotis was kind of the money ball draft pick. I didn't go with the Jason Giambi. I went with the guy that gets on base. And to me, at the end of the day, it was the best option.
I like it. Mike. It's a great pick. Okay, into the third round for me. My 7 pick here. A lot of drive-through burger options here. If you walk up, there is some sandwich talent here that I want to go almost, again, as like a warfare standpoint. Like, if I don't get it, you will. So I have to think about that. I just picked a sandwich. You now have 2 sandwiches on your board.
I've already told you my game plan in the third round here.
Yes, which might have been a mistake, leaked sources, whatever.
Or it could have been the misdirection.
It could be misinformation.
That I've been planning the whole time.
That is true. The things you think about. See, we look at these drafts and we think, oh, how hard could it be? Just pick guys on the board. But it's a lot more difficult than you think. Oh, boy. First pick in the third round. I just picked a sandwich. If you don't get it, no, I could settle on the remaining talent there. I'm not going to go that way. Changing it up. For me, I'm going back to burgers. This is not going to be probably a selection of Mike, but I do think outside of In-N-Out and I'll go Wendy's. I think this. I don't want to wait around to see if this burger's still around. Mike's not going to select it, but I value it enough that I'm going to bring it back up. I am going with Baker's drive-through.
That's a great decision.
I love the sauce they put on the burger. It's not quite In-N-Out, but it's similar in the style, the simplicity. They have other menu options there. Good bread. Fries, Papa and Mama size stuff, which is cool, unique. You can get a burrito and stuff like that too. But for me, the
fairly regional specific, right?
Yes.
I don't think they're
mostly Inland Empire here in Southern California.
Right.
So not too far. I don't want to risk this not being on my board. So I'm going Baker's. I love the quality. I love the product. A really, really good hamburger, and someone that I value in the third round.
A great decision. I'm conflicted here to stick with. No,
If only we had a little portable clock. What are your needs? That's what you have to look at. What are your needs right now?
I'm going to go SoCal staple. Stick with sandwiches. I'm going to say the Hat.
It's a great. You got me. You got me. This wasn't even on the board. This wasn't even on our board.
This was the late edition. Started in 1951. Kind of a mom and pop type, great pastrami sandwiches, pastrami dipped. Not on the healthy, not so much on the.
May have fallen a little bit.
Kind of the gut buster route, but again, sneaky good chili cheese fries. They give you a ton of food. I challenge you to eat at the Hat and walk away hungry.
Oh.
But to me, old school, kind of a veteran in the clubhouse, if you will. There's always tons of employees in there working, getting it done. A little pricey for the sandwich place. it's gonna. I'm risking salary cap issues, but to me, well worth the grease.
Well worth the grease. An outstanding pick. I'm honestly surprised it's fallen this far, but to your point, there's some reasons for that. I want to tell you this, Mike. In echoing your chili cheese fries statement, if you want to feel bad about yourself or good, however you want to look at it, if you add pastrami to those chili cheese fries with pastrami on top, you might be on the DL for a few days, but
sounds emotional.
To me, it's worth it. Yeah, if you've had a bad breakup or maybe lost a job, I think,
or need to celebrate,
just anything. Again, whatever you need.
Now we're talking emotions.
Yes, maybe later today. I don't know. The chili cheese fries with the pastrami is outstanding. I do love their pastrami with kind of the, and the dip with the wet bread. Oh, it's really, really. You walk in there and you're just like, man, this is outstanding. Is this heaven? No, yeah. It's the hat.
Yeah.
And we're both cherry Coke guys. They're cherry Coke. They mix regular Coke and Fanta cherry soda. It tastes phenomenal.
Yeah.
The mix is great. I love the pick.
I just learned that recently too. I was not aware of that till recently. Yeah, sneaky talent.
Very good.
Sneaky talent.
Really, really good. Okay, to my 8th overall selection here. Starting to get down to it. We're starting to get down to it here. I kind of know the direction Mike's going to go later in rounds. Ay. Okay, I don't really have another walk-up. I've kind of been I had Jersey Mike's, I got the habit, but I got a lot of drive-thrus on this conference, on this board here. I'm going to go. No, I have to do it. It's Mike won't go this route, I don't think, but it's something I want for my birthday every year. It's got one of the pizza toppings I love that you can't really find anywhere else. Good memories. A little pricier, but it's quality. You can go in the restaurant and sit down. For me, it's Round Table Pizza. I'm going Round Table. It's very, very high.
I did not see pizza going that high.
Well, I don't have any yet on here, and I mean, let's be honest. You got to have pizza. So Round Table Pizza. I like the King Arthur kind of theme there. For me, linguiça. It's like pepperoni and sausage. Love her. It's like pepperoni and sausage. Kind of a really good pizza topping. You got to go extra cheese on the Round Table pie. The sauce is not really spicy, but it's got a little flavor to it. I think it's totally a cut above the Domino's and Pizza Huts of the world.
That's bold.
I know it is. It's going to anger some people. But for me, the things I value and the foundation of my team here, I'm going Round Table Pizza. I cannot wait any longer. It's got to come on my team.
That's a great decision. Younger, a lot of post-baseball games spent at the local Round Table.
Mm-hmm. A lot of quarters, a lot of video games and pictures.
A lot of jukebox selections. That's a good choice.
Mike, to the final pick of the 3rd round, the 9th overall selection.
I can't break from the direction I was going. I have to stay sandwiches. I'm going to go Firehouse Subs.
Yes, I left that alone.
Yeah,
I could have gone there, but I chose not to.
A good sandwich place. Not as high on my list as I was anticipated, but just because they don't offer. Their menu is very deceiving.
Yes.
You go in there, you think there's a lot of options sandwich-wise. There really isn't. But the options they do have, great sandwiches, speed, good employees, always clean. Fairly new sandwich place, started in 94 back east. Two fireman brothers started it. Pretty nationwide now. They used to be very, very isolated back east. They're in 46 states, including Puerto Rico now. So they've
Does his research.
They're very diverse. They've spread out. But again, a good sandwich, and it's going to close out my sandwich section.
That's man, your team is really complete there in the sandwich department. I will also echo or give more props to them in the sense that they do a lot of donations to firefighters, first responders, right?
Yes, they've always been kind of on the forefront of that.
Always ask you for if you like to donate $1 or whatever.
Yeah,
so
that's true. Good call.
That for me is what raises their stock quite a bit. So props to Firehouse.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Got some great photos and you know, props in there for firemen and stuff.
Yeah, they always acknowledge. There's always kind of a little mural in each firehouse that kind of acknowledges whatever local fire department in that area.
Yeah,
and it's always well done, and
the names, the names of their sandwich, the steamer. They always have that fire thing. I won't go any further, but I like that. Anyway, my final pick in the third round. All right, what do I need? What does my roster need? I don't want to wait any longer, and I don't want to risk losing this. And as I look at our cups up here in the front row, there's one that hasn't been taken. And I know this is a staple for you. For me, I'm taking this for one specific reason. My heart is breakfast driven. I like burgers. I like all these things. But for me, breakfast is completely underrated. And when I think of fast food breakfast, I think of McDonald's. I know that's not your thing, Mike, which I found out on the road. That was very shocking, really, that because you like McDonald's because they're usually open late, and you know who doesn't like a Big Mac. But I value McDonald's in their breakfast. Huge sausage McMuffin guy. I can't have just one hash brown. I gotta have two. Their coffee's great. Don't spill it on you. It says it's hot. So don't let that happen.
That the coffee is sneaky good.
Yeah,
it's in terms of fast food coffee. Obviously, veteran on this list.
Yes,
and very consistent.
Owns a lot of real estate, the most in the world, I believe. Right?
I feel like our soundtrack is taking a turn here. Do we just?
What are we? This is fourth round music. Okay. You know, we're almost there. So this shows how hard.
I feel like this is like from like a Van Damme movie, like
early '80s.
It's like him on a train thinking about the big fight.
Picking up
like
a bit.
thinking in his thoughts, staring at his reflection in the window,
like you and me right now.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
like you and me.
That's very true.
You know, so McDonald's. I go, it's a little tradition we started back in the day with family. McDonald's Easter morning, usually after a sunrise service, they're open. They're there for you. I don't like the pancake stuff there, the pancake breakfast, the All-American or whatever. I like Egg McMuffin, sausage Egg McMuffin. I'll dabble in the, quarter pounder world, but for me, the value for McDonald's is breakfast. And I know breakfast isn't your thing there, but what is your go-to at McDonald's?
It's got to be a burger. It's always a burger. But
sweet Coke, right?
Best Coke.
It's extra
the
sugar.
Best Coke mix.
Yes.
I would argue. And they've kind of laid. Used to be hands down fries for me were lights out. They've kind of kicked back on the salt on the fries. Kind of watered them down a little bit, but good nonetheless.
To the fourth round we go. Our final three picks, Mike. There's not a whole lot remaining.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're really digging deep here.
Here we go. This is the final roster spots.
I'm going to go off the list here, and to me, it's a burger place, but they've got a lot of options, and I'm going to go fairly. A fairly local establishment. They have a lot of locations, but I'm going to go Farmer Boy.
Wow. That you surprised me this entire draft.
They pride themselves on organic fed meats.
Well, that's what I think of when I think of you.
It's actually my old wrestling name.
Organically fed meat.
Fairly efficient, open late. Employees are always nice. Quite a big menu in terms of options. Yeah, a great anchor, I feel, to my selections.
Farmer Boy going outside the big board, kind of free agent, maybe some guy from the Canadian League you're looking at there.
Sure.
That to me is what the Farmer Boy pick is. A great selection there.
Sure, Leon Boudreau, if you will. Down in Algiers, Louisiana.
Yeah. Great reference. You don't know, look it up. Oh. What are my needs here? I got three picks remaining. I need to be strategic here. I kind of know a few things are safe, but you've thrown me a loop here a little bit with some of the selections. I just picked McDonald's for their breakfast menu specifically. Got to be honest, not a whole lot of health on my side, which I shouldn't be surprised. I'm not like you're, vegetarian on your side, but you got a few options in there at least. There's a lot of things here with the drive-thru. I guess Five Guys isn't really drive-thru.
Do they even they don't offer drive-thru, do they?
No, they don't. So they should be in the walk-up. They're snuck into the drive-thru conference. They should be more walk-up. Okay, this might anger some people, but I'm looking at need here. And I've had a burger basically in rounds 2 and 3. Didn't get a first-round burger, the best burger in the draft, in and out like you did. But I'm going with a burger that I think is pretty solid. They got some different options. I am going to go in the 4th round, my first selection, 10th overall. I'm going Carl's Jr.
Whoa.
Don't call me Hardee's, Carl's Jr. A couple different names here. I like the crisp cut fry option you can get there. I like Superstar with cheese, Big Carl. You can lettuce wrap burgers there, although if you're going to Carl's Jr., what's the point? Are
you going Carl's / Hardee's?
Yes.
Okay.
Carl's / Hardee's. So some would argue it's 2 different places. I think the yellow star is the tell there. So Carl's Jr., a good burger, some great commercials over the years. That takes me in a little more intriguing,
good call.
Raises their stock. And you know what? Open late. And back to the breakfast thing. A very underrated breakfast sandwich.
Really?
That does some damage. It's got everything. Now, you probably won't like this, but the breakfast burger, you got hamburger patty, you got bacon, you got egg, a little ketchup in there.
I've never had Carl's breakfast before.
And Mike, hash brown bites in the burger, in the breakfast burger.
Really?
Give it a shot. I know I'm on a breakfast kick here, but that's to me why I think
that's interesting.
They come into play.
Yeah, that's
the Carl's Jr. breakfast burger. It's really, really good.
Okay.
So Carl's Jr., my first pick of the 4th round.
Okay.
2 picks remaining, Mike.
Yeah, so I went a little out of the region here. I went east to Texas. And they've moved. I believe there's a couple of locations in Phoenix now. In the 11th round, or this is the 4th round, the 11th pick, I'm going to go Whataburger.
Tell our West Coast listeners.
Yeah, it's kind of a. I can't call it the Texas In-N-Out because In-N-Out's in Texas now, and I wouldn't even say it's definitely burger place. Opened up in 1950, so it's well established. Started in Corpus Christi, Texas. They are like Starbucks all over Texas. Every corner has got a Whataburger. Open 24 hours. To piggyback off of you, they have pretty good breakfast options. A lot of options on how to make your burger. They pride themselves on having a lot of different toppings you can put on your burger. But pretty run-of-the-mill fast food place. Open 24 hours. And usually pretty consistent. Good-sized burgers.
One of the best things they do is they bring you out that tray of condiments
when you eat there. No one else does that.
They bring the food out to you. Customer service is always good. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to call it healthy by any means, but whenever I'm in Texas or Arizona for that matter, Whataburger always has to be a stop at some point.
Yeah, whether it's 1 in the afternoon or 4 in the morning, you know, it's there for you. A really good selection there. I was going to stay off of that one. Our Texas friends like to argue how great it is. I don't know how great it is. It's more of accessible.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. I'm not going to. There's a reason why it's the 11th pick. It's good. It's not a first or second rounder.
No. And Mike, this is difficult, but I have 2 picks remaining. You have 1. I think I know the direction you're going to go. I have a lot of drive-thrus on here. I need another sandwich, and this might be a stretch, but I'm going to go with it. I got to go which.
Really?
Which. I like which. I haven't been as often as I'd like, but I remember in spring training one time, I was challenged to eat the gargantuan.
That's right.
And
that's right.
A proud moment in my life. I like the options they have there. I like the fact that you can walk in there. They have a slip of paper. You write exactly what you want. Mayo, white bread, turkey.
There's no confusion.
There's no confusion. You write your name on it. To me, that's what separates them from other places, what rises their stock a little bit. Which, maybe not the best quality sandwich here, but you absolutely know what you're getting.
Right.
Because it's a piece of paper you handed them.
Right.
You know, and the brown bags, I think.
Right. If it's messed up, it's your own fault.
Yeah, it's on you.
Right.
So it's accountability, all those things.
Sure.
So which I know comes out of nowhere, but I do need another sandwich. I can't go with just Jersey Mike's in my draft.
Right.
Mike, we're on to the final pick.
Wow.
The final pick of our draft here.
God, this is tough. You know,
since it's your last pick, you can tell us some of your options, things you're thinking about, since there are no more picks.
Yeah, no, I'm between pizza here. I want to go pizza, but I just can't. Pizza, I don't know. I can't. I gotta go. I gotta go with my gut. I gotta go KFC.
Wow! Wow, Mr. Irrelevant.
You know, I gotta throw a chicken option in there. I've got to throw a multi-tool player in there. Great mac and cheese. The mashed potatoes and gravy, although will probably stop a human heart if eaten enough, are amazing.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
And pretty consistent chicken.
A nice bucket. How great!
A nice bucket.
Oh, that's beautiful.
A nice bucket.
Oh my! It's like a Christmas present.
Yeah, and a lot of options. I worked with a guy who was a KFC junkie.
You know who you are.
And informed me, and he taught me a little bit of the ways of the KFC. I feel like it was kind of like working with a samurai. Like he taught me a little way of the samurai in the sense that there are certain KFCs, mainly in the Midwest, that, and he told me what to look for. Underneath the KFC sign, there is a sub sign underneath that will say buffet.
Wow.
And they will have a mini buffet where at lunch, you can go in there and for a very decent price, all you can eat.
What are the hours we're talking about?
I want to say it's like
11 to 2.
I'll have to look at it's usually like that. 11
Time limit?
Yeah, usually 11 to 2 type. I don't have the facts in front of me. But if in the right game situation, this player can step up and have a buffet.
Yeah. It's a quality pick. I see where you're going with your final pick. It checks a lot of boxes.
A lot of boxes.
You don't think KFC too often. Like it's a nice display. Colonel Sanders. I mean,
Papa Colonel,
man. It's a quality pick. The buffet, I think, takes it to the next level. And the bucket of chicken, the presentation.
To me, the OG in terms of chicken.
I agree. Because there's other places. There's Popeyes, there's Church's Chicken, there's all these other things, but it is an OG. It's a veteran.
Yes.
The Colonel is a veteran.
Yeah.
So an outstanding pick, Mike, to round out your 4 rounds, your 12
I'm
players.
pretty happy with that pick. I'm pretty happy.
I'm happy for you. A lot of jealousy from some of your stuff here. Okay, for me, my final pick, I'm gonna really go outside the box here. There's some good players. Jack in the Box. I like the options you get at Jack in the Box. The curly fries, the bacon ultimate cheeseburger, the sourdough jack, decent breakfast menu. But I already got a lot of drive-thrus on here. I mean, if I have a roster spot open,
It's a 24-hour player.
yes. If the roster is spot opens up, I'll definitely consider Jack.
Sure.
Let's see.
I feel like it's a good practice squad player.
I like that. I agree with you. Right on the cusp of getting on the roster, but just
To me, it's a Rudy.
it's a.
It's a Rudiger.
I'm going to shock the world right now, and literally the world, because I'm going international. I'm going north of the border to Canada. I need a good cup of coffee. I need a donut option with my sandwich or meal, whatever you're doing. I am going with Tim Hortons
Wow.
from Canada.
Not a lot of people know about this. You're going to have to.
Tim Hortons.
You're going to have to explain a little bit here.
Tim Hortons is on every corner in Canada. The nicest people. It's a combination of, it's kind of like a Dunkin Donuts, I'd say. Amazing coffee. Probably the double, 2 cream, 2 sugar is like their go-to. To me, it's the best coffee in the world. I put it up against any other coffee out there. And unlike, you go to order a sandwich or something from there, they have breakfast and lunch. You order a sandwich meal from there. With your meal, you get a donut option, not a fry or
Right.
hash brown option. So that takes them a cut above. But whether it's 8 in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, if I want a cup of coffee, especially before a ball game that we go umpire, Mike, Tim Hortons is phenomenal.
I would argue the best coffee I've probably ever had.
Yes. I want to ship some down here.
Yeah, and it's kind of one of those things where it's shipped. You got to have it fresh.
Unique characters in there.
Yeah.
Tim Hortons, you see it on everywhere, every NHL rink. You see a logo there somewhere.
Founded in 1964.
Wow.
With over 4,000 locations. And if you think about that, it's crazy. And I don't think I've been to a bad Tim Hortons.
No.
They're all very consistent.
And the
employees are really nice.
Canadians, so they're super friendly and nice,
Yeah.
and they're there for you. Get
Yeah.
whatever you need.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, and we were in Winnipeg, and downstairs was the Tim Hortons. I went there every day, at least once a day. I mean, the coffee, the sandwich, the food's actually pretty decent. They have like potato wedges kind of too, but ultimately the coffee is what separates them from anyone. And absolutely happy.
The interiors they're updating most of the interiors now, where they're kind of a donut shop / coffee shop feel, where they've free Wi-Fi. They're very kind of open, where you can kind of do some work on your lunch break there or in the mornings. Solid pick.
We have got to get them here in America. So that is my plea. When we open up the borders, let's get Tim Hortons down into America. Okay, Mike, we have done it. I didn't think we'd be able to, but we've gone through it round by round. Let's do a recap here. We did 4 rounds, 3 picks each. I'm proud of what I see on this piece of paper here from you and from me.
I think we did better than thought. So let's rotate. Let's just go through it. Mike, you had the first overall selection. In-N-Out Burger, can't beat that. Quality.
Best burger in the land.
Quality you can taste. Absolutely. Number one for me, because I knew you'd go with this probably too, Chick-fil-A. Not open on Sundays, but I would argue that the 6 days it is open absolutely delivers more than some of these places do 7 days a week.
Arguably the best customer service in the draft.
Yes. I would argue anyone again to combat that. So second overall pick, Mike.
Jimmy John's.
What's a freakishly fast?
Freaky fast. Another one of my nicknames. Again, efficiency.
And what's your go-to there? I like the Italian number 9.
It's either the turkey tom or the I forget. It's good turkey and roast beef. I forget the name of it.
That's the Bootleg Club.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Ooh, good one. Yeah. Number 2 overall pick, I went Del Taco. I love the French fries. My favorite fries in the draft. I love a good. No other place can you get a burrito and a burger. I mean, well, there is, but I think these are the best to do it. Chicken soft tacos are phenomenal. Great options. Usually open pretty late, and definitely kind of a
packing a punch for your money.
Yes, you can't go wrong with kind of the dollar menu things there.
You could feed a small country for less than $20.
Mike, at number 3,
Waffle House.
Waffle
to me,
House.
The whole is the whole picture. Not something you think of as fast food, but I would argue is quick as a fast food place in terms of food efficiency. But again, customer service always feels right at home in the Waffle House.
I think if America were more like Waffle House, we'd have less problems in the world.
Be a much better place.
I'd be a better place. So we can all learn from that. Waffle House, get out west, will you? Number 3 for me, I went Wienerschnitzel. The best and probably only hot dog in the draft, and you can't go wrong. Chili cheese fries, hard to eat. Just 2 chili cheese dogs or 3. We'll stop right there.
Sure.
But good stuff. We go to the second round. Mike, your first pick.
Dickie's barbecue.
A shocker. The first shocker to me.
Had to get barbecue in there. Fairly consistent with barbecue across the board. Can't go wrong with fast food barbecue.
Oh man, really, really good product here. Number 4 for me, I went Wendy's. I couldn't go the In-N-Out route because it was taken off the board, but I love the Wendy's burger, square patties. It's unique, and they wrap that stuff in tin foil, and it's a special foil that keeps it hot. And the Frosty is
game changer.
Oh, it's just so good. 5th overall pick,
Chipotle.
Good selection here. Can't go wrong.
Fairly healthy in terms of if you want to go a healthy route and not feel completely guilty about what you're eating. Chipotle.
Yes. And for me, 5, I went back-to-back burgers, but there are other options here. I went The Habit. The sign is attractive, good service. They give you the portable numbers there, electronics. So technology, I think, raised their bar a little bit. Some very good burgers and sandwiches there. 6, Mike.
Hawaiian barbecue.
Oh no,
Hawaiian barbecue.
This is, of all the things on here, that's probably my most jealous pick.
The mac salad.
Oh, that might have to happen here in the next hour. Okay, 6 for me. My final pick in the second round was Jersey Mike's. Jimmy John's was off the board. It was either here or Firehouse, but I think Jersey Mike's is a cut above. And I love how the sliced sandwich is in front of you. The bread's outstanding. You can get it on almost any Postmates or whatever brought to you. So Jersey Mike's for me was my top sandwich selection.
Number 7 for me was Capriotis. This was my sandwich round.
Another shocker.
I had to reward creativity, and to me, just a great sleeper in the sandwich category.
Very much so. I went 7th overall. I went Baker's. Good burgers, underrated burgers. Only not too many places that have Bakers, but out here where we live, there's a lot of them in the Inland Empire. A quality burger, not quite In-N-Out quality, but really, really close, I think.
Right, with a lot of extra options on their menu too, not just burgers.
8. This is where, Mike, you really, I thought your best pick of the draft.
I agree.
For the value.
For me, was the hat. just pure emotion. This is a pure emotion pick as far as it just pastrami, cheese, grease,
Stop it.
bread,
Chili cheese fries.
chili
man.
cheese fries.
A small is huge.
Yeah, it's a small brown grocery bag. Just so, and they're open late, and always efficient.
Drive through, which
That's true.
you don't expect for that type of establishment. So
It messed a little bit with my salary cap. They're a little pricey for me, but
get what you pay for.
You get what you pay for.
I went Round Table Pizza, and for me, my favorite pizza of kind of the fast food pizzas. A little pricey, but again, I like what I get from them. I get a unique theme. I get pretty good pizza. The thin crust and the sauce, the linguiça is as outstanding. One of my birthday favorites. So for me, I went Round Table Pizza. Last pick of the third round, Mike, for you.
For me to close out the sandwich was Firehouse.
Should we call it the trilogy? What would the
trifecta?
The Trinity?
The Trinity. No, for me, Firehouse, always a good spot, always a good, always a good sandwich.
Unique on the road and donates to good causes.
Yeah.
My final pick, I went McDonald's. I wanted to wait later in this, but I thought maybe you'd jump on this just for accessibility and things of that nature. But I focus really on the breakfast menu side of things.
Sure.
For me, that's why McDonald's.
You and special teams.
Special teams. I like that. Absolutely. How many games have you lost in the kicking game when you don't pay attention to it, So that's what I went with. Into the fourth and final round, Mike.
I went Farmer Boy, and they pride themselves allegedly on organic or grass-fed beef.
Thought that counts.
Yeah, right. But a lot of food options and always good customer service.
Outstanding pick for me. Number 10. I'm still a little shady on this one, but I went Carl's Jr. I do like their burgers. The not crisp cut, kind of waffly fries. But I love their breakfast burger. It is a commitment. You won't eat too much later in the day because that one will keep you there. It's filling. Hash browns on a breakfast sandwich to me is amazing, especially with a burger patty. So that's where, to me, they snuck into the fourth round here.
Number 11 for me was Whataburger. Kind of a Texas staple. A lot of options. And to me, a solid, when in Texas, a solid late night option.
Got to get it. Absolutely. 11th overall for me was Which, a little surprising. There wasn't many options left on the sandwich conference. I wasn't going to go Quiznos. I wasn't going to go Subway. Which, I think what separates them is their ability to, for you to physically write down your order, every detail, so that they more than likely don't get it wrong. And they got some good sandwiches too.
12 for me, the anchor. The glue holding my list together, KFC. I had to throw a chicken option in there, and it's the OG of chicken. Been around a long time, and the sides to me are the game changer. And to close it out, again, KFC.
Great draft, Mike.
The Colonel.
Absolutely. I went Tim Hortons, my final pick. Kind of surprising, but I needed a good coffee on here. I can drink coffee all day when you consider the fact that they are only in Canada, and the great service, the friendly people. They offer you donuts, the potato wedges. I mean, to me, it's the total package and unbelievable value for the final pick in the draft. Some notables who weren't drafted, Mike: Jack in the Box, Five Guys. This shocked me. Taco Bell. I thought for sure you would go Taco Bell somewhere.
Taco Bell is a practice squad for me. It's obviously an option, but as of late, they've been eliminating a lot of menu options. I got rid of the double-decker taco, the chili cheese burrito. They're kind of going in the wrong direction. And although sometimes it always hits the spot, for me, it's a practice squad player, as is for me, like a Pizza Hut, or maybe even like a maybe a Sonic.
Mm-hmm. Not quite ready
for the game day roster, but still good, solid practice squad.
Very much so. Of the pizza categories here, Pizza Hut, Little Caesars, Domino's, they're all kind of like, it's fake pizza, right? And Papa John's, to me, it's just a cut above. I like the garlic butter sauce you can dip in, but it just didn't make the cut for me as far as being a draft pick here. You got Pieology and Blaze Pizza that are those walk-up joints. Those are nice. Five Guys, a lot of people like those burgers and fries. To me, it's just too much going on. Too much.
Never been a fan.
Yeah, it's of the burgers out there. I just it's not for me.
For me, the Rudiger on my practice squad would have to be a Pollo Loco. They try really hard, but they're just not gonna. I mean, there may come a game at Georgia Tech where we may need to,
I could do it, coach.
But we could maybe throw them on there, but
for me, Jack in the Box, stay by your phone. We'll see what happens if a spot opens up. And Dunkin Donuts, some underrated breakfast sandwiches, really good coffee.
I agree with Dunkin.
Yeah,
I agree.
I just not quite. When you compare it to Tim Hortons, then it looks worse. But when it stands alone by itself, I think some good donuts as well. I mean, just a good option, but just not quite ready, not quite there.
There were players in AAA that were really good AAA players and were dominant at the AAA level. And then when they get called up to the big leagues, they could not cut it.
Mm-hmm.
And we called those guys 4A players. It was kind of the ongoing little term that we had for them. And to me, Dunkin is the 4A player.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No,
I mean, you know what you're getting from them. I just recently in the past year or so started, going there more because I like their coffee more than say a Starbucks or something. And when you're in the mood for a donut, I mean, it's always there for you. So
solid option.
Mike, great picks here. I am very happy with this overall draft. We'll have to do something like this again, maybe with another type of category, but
always down.
I think this absolutely delivered. What time is it? It's 12:30 at 1 o'clock. I got to get to work, but I tell you, I'm stopping at one of these places. I can promise you that's happening. We can't talk. You can't.
All this talk about it.
Oh, it's temptation.
Let's get to it.
Let's absolutely get to this. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, I'm just like bouncing around here. My eyes are just hurting me. So this has been fun, Mike.
Do you have a Twitter account?
I do have a Twitter account.
Why don't you have your guests?
We'll do a poll of who's a better team.
Or just chime in if you have other options we didn't think about. Or
okay, I like that, guys. On Twitter, of course, please reach out so others can see it. Get Home Safe Pod, one name. We'll put some info on there. Maybe I'll list the teams even after this show comes out. But for you guys, give me your thoughts. Let's get some reactions. I would love to see that. Of course, our Facebook page too. And Facebook and Twitter more than likely are where you can comment after I list this and you guys hear this episode on Friday. So I think this will stir the pot a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with it.
This will get people
ball rolling.
Get people going. Well, Mike, thanks for joining me today. The FFL draft is complete. This was
fun.
So much fun. Now I'm hungry. Hope you guys are as well. Guys, thank you for listening to this edition of the Get Home Safe podcast. Mike, good luck with the baseball postseason.
Thank you so much. Look forward to coming back on and talking about it. And this was fun, man. Thanks.
You got it. Bye, guys. Eat well.